You guys voted for this hairstyle, and if you want to know how I transformed this headband wig into a half a wig, keep on watching. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Alisia.B, and in today's video I'm showing you guys how I transformed my headband wig into a half a wig. So we're gonna get right into it. We're just gonna part our hair into 3 sections: a larger part at the back, a middle small section, and a front section. That middle section is going to be your anchor braid, and we will get right into it later on. The back section, it does not have to be neat at all. This is a section that the wig is going to be covering, so you just want to make sure that you have a braid around the perimeter of your head. That way we have something to sew the wig onto. Again, it does not have to be neat, it does not have to be small, it just has to be braided down properly. So you'll see I just do 4 big cane roll braids. Again, the part's not neat, and you want to make sure that you also moisturize this part of your hair because it's going to be covered by the wig. So you want to make sure that your hair is moisturized and hydrated and not dry, so that way it doesn't break at all. Remember, we're all about hair retention and keeping the length, so you want to make sure that you do this process for the back of your head. So this is how the back of my hair looks. Again, it's not neat, but there is a braid around the perimeter of my head. And now we could get into the anchor braid. So this anchor braid is what you're gonna use to make sure that you sew the wig onto your hair. That way you don't see the tracks and it's actually tight and secured. Again, you don't have to do an anchor braid, but I prefer the anchor braid because number 1, it gives less tension onto the actual braids that you braided back, and it actually has a very close knit to it, and you will see what I mean when I actually sew the hair. That way you can't see a separation from the end of the cane rolls at the front of your hair and the beginning of the wig at the back of your hair. Again, I will show you guys more about it later, but that is why I do the anchor braid. I suggest you do an anchor braid. It'll just make everything look more seamless and look nice and look completely finished. Now for one of my favorite parts of this hairstyle, the front part. You guys, you could be so creative with this front part. It does not have to be braided. It could be elastic band, it could be braided, it could be twisted, it could be a half up, half down, because we did that anchor braid. Again, I will show you guys, I promise. Bear with me, keep up with me, but this front part, you could be so creative. It could be a big braid, a small braid, medium braids, anything that you like. It could just showcase you and your talent. I went for those 2 hairstyles that you guys just saw because that is what I really wanted, and that is how I'm executing it. So first off, you guys know I'm always gonna part before I braid to make sure everything is even and it's centered and it's clean. That is how I do my braids. No matter what hairstyle I do, I always pre-part, section it off, and then I braid afterwards. And y'all, take your time with this part. Like I say in almost all my hair videos, the front is what people see. That is the first reaction that they see that makes them say, ooh, I really like your hair. What did he do, or who did it? So take your time. If you have to go over that line 3 times, go over that line 3 times, but make it neat, make it tidy, make it nice, because again, that is where the first impression of that hairstyle comes in. Okay, so now I'm gonna use the jam. If you find, this is something that I just realized and just learned. If you find that the jam itches your scalp, do not put it on your scalp, because technically jam and any type of braid gel is supposed to be made for your hair, not your scalp. So you see that I'm putting it on my hair. Do not put it on your scalp because it will make your scalp itchy. My scalp will itch me for days when I have it in with my box braids or knotless braids or twists, and I realize it's because it's not meant for your scalp. It's actually meant for your hair. So that is a pro tip. Put it on your hair, not your scalp. I'm also using a Spectra hair. It's pre-stretched, so that's what I love. And now I am braiding my hair. I am doing the feed-in method. I do have a video up on it on my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys go check it out. I teach you guys exactly how to do a feed-in braid. Super easy, super simple. Beginners could do it. But this is what I'm doing. I'm doing, I believe, 2 braids and a elastic band method. I'll show you guys that in the video. But yeah, just make sure that the front of your hair is really neat and tidy, because again, that is your first impression and that is what people base your whole hairstyle off of, the front. Another tip I could tell you guys, whenever you do feed-in braids, Always make sure you prepare the hair first. When you prepare the hair, it goes so much smoother, your braid will look better, and you will just have a better time doing it. If you don't prepare the hair, you will not get that crisp look. Preparation is key, especially for feed and braids, you guys. Make sure you prep the hair and you just have it close by so that way you're not getting up, stretching. You want to be comfortable, okay? Comfortability is really important when you do feed and braids because it's such a process and it's not a short process at all. It takes time. So make sure you prepare all your braids, make sure every strand is good, and you will have a much better time. Now for the ends of my hair, I want it to blend a little bit more, so I'm gonna put some of that jam and blend it in with my hair and the braid in here, just to make sure that it stays neat, it looks better, it lasts longer, and it's all about presenting that hairstyle to the best of its ability. Okay guys, you are doing this hairstyle to get people to notice you, to have double looks. You are doing this hairstyle for show, okay? So you're gonna put all this time into it. Make sure that you do it right, okay? So at the end of the braid, I am leaving it out because I'm gonna curl the ends just so that way it matches the curls of my wig a little bit more, and I'm gonna do that for all of my braids, and this is how my first braid looks. To switch up the pattern, I wanted to do like a braid and Alisia.B way. So what I did was I took some Alisia.Bs and I actually did every 2 braids. So I think I only had like 2 sections that had Alisia.Bs in it, and I thought it really brought character to the hairstyle, and I absolutely loved this part of the hairstyle. Make sure the Alisia.Bs aren't too tight because they are pulling on your hair. It may not seem tight the first time you put it in, but when you go to the second and third square, because you are pulling it more back, it is gonna pull more. So make sure that you don't put the Alisia.Bs too tight to begin with. This is how it looks. It looks so pretty. I'm actually happy that I decided to do this. And now to add the braids to the end, all you have to do is just add it in as if you are adding in extra hair when you're doing single braids. It's that easy, you guys. It's super simple. You just add it in, you braid it down to your desired length. And again, I want the curls at the end. And you want to make sure that your hair is blended. So don't forget to add your jam to your natural hair. Comb it out, blend it in with the braid in here. That way it looks more seamless and neat. And then again, don't forget to leave your ends out for the curls, and then we're gonna curl it afterwards at the end. I'll show you guys how to do that. But basically what we did on this side, we're gonna do to the other side as well, and just complete the whole hairstyle. So once we're done, we're gonna grab the wig. So this is my headband wig. What I did was I sewed the headband inside the wig. This way, when the hair is sewn onto my head, it looks like that the wig is actually coming from my scalp and there's no headband showing. I like this method because, again, I don't like the headband to be showing, and it just makes it so much easier for me to actually sew the wig onto my head. So this is how it looks, and then this is how I'm going to be putting it on my hair now. This is where the anchor braid comes in. We're gonna sew this part of the wig onto the anchor braid. That way it's as close to the back of the cane roll as possible, making it look like it's actually all of our hair. So tuck in the back part of that wig into the wig, and then this is the anchor braid that I was talking about. This is where we're gonna secure the wig onto our hair. Because of the anchor braid, it makes it so much easier just to sew the hair across rather than sewing it onto the braids that we braided down. This is why I told you guys the anchor braid makes everything so much easier. So now we're gonna start to braid. What I like to do is I like to start from the back. That way the knots from the string is not shown at the top of my head. And then we just literally sew the wig all around. This is why I also told you guys that no matter how you braid your hair, make sure that there is a perimeter braid so that way we can actually sew the wig onto our hair. Another tip is when you are sewing your wig onto the braid, make sure you cover the braid with your wig before you sew it. That way, when you tighten the string from the needle, you don't see the braid, but you just see the wig falling on top of your hair. This is how you make your hair look full. This is how you hide the braid from showing, and this is how you make it look like this hair is yours, okay? So that is the trick. pull the wig on top of the braids like you see me doing here and sew it on top of the braid. That way you hide the braid and you have it as close to the perimeter of your hair as possible. That's the key. It may sound confusing. I'm not really good at explaining stuff, but if you just watch what I'm doing, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And if this is your first time sewing a weave onto your own head, your string does not have to be this long. I've been doing this for years now, so I'm pretty good at it. But if it's your first time, use a shorter piece of string. The string will get tangled a lot, so you will get frustrated, especially if you're new. So just use a shorter piece of string and then do as much as you can. That is how you get the neat sewing method. That's how you get used to it. And then once you get used to it and you're getting more comfortable, then you can have a longer piece of string. So I finally finished sewing the wig onto the back of my hair. This literally took me like 3 to 5 minutes, you guys. It took no time at all. And this is how it looks. I absolutely love the way it looks. I don't know why I didn't do this before, but it looks really, really good. So now I'm just going to curl the braided part at the front just to make it match it. But like a little confession time, I'm gonna be real with you guys, the curls did not match the curls at the back, but it's fine because I ended up cutting it anyway because it was still too long. But yeah, you can use perm rods, you can use flexi rods, you can use whatever you want just to match the curls at the back. And then dip it in hot water, and you guys, it turned out so good. I'll show you guys how it looks at the end, but this is just me putting it on the flexi rod, dipping it in hot water, and then I'm gonna dry it off with my blow dryer, and then I'll show you guys the curls. Also, one thing looking back at this, I did not realize how brown the wig was compared to my hair. I should have used a brown color, but it's okay. I didn't realize it until now. But it still looks good. So if you guys want, you guys could also dye your wig black, or you could just use brown braids or whatever you decide to do to make it have a more cohesive look. But I was completely fine with this anyway. It still looks good. I have it now and I like it. But this is the final look, you guys. Like I said, the curls didn't match at the end, but it still looked good. It still came through, and you can't see the band, and that's exactly what I wanted. You cannot see the headband wig. It looks seamless. It looks like it's my real hair. I've got a lot of compliments the first day I went out with this hairstyle. I am not even lying to you guys. The first time I went out with this hairstyle, I got a lot of compliments. A lot of people thought it was my own hair, and I'm like, yeah, I did a damn thing. I did really, really good. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe. I love you guys. Bye.